World domination is the goal, and Team Canada is more than up to the challenge as they arrive in Ottawa to begin training camp for the World Cup of Hockey. Hockey fans are eager for their fix with the upcoming NHL season in doubt. The NHLPA and the league remained in tense negotiations, trying to hammer out a new collective bargaining agreement. It's a time of instability, and the Summer Olympics have just ended in Athens, Greece. Canada took home a disappointing total of 12 medals, and Canadians were looking for a new set of heroes to offer a shot of national pride. Team Canada 04 represents a beginning of the changing of the guard. Executive Director Wayne Gretzky and his brain trust chose their team using the model from the successful gold medal winning club at the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics. Gretzky knew that Team Canada required a healthy balance of scoring, defensive strength, solid net-minding, strong special teams play, and unwavering grit, a Canadian trademark.
We were never afraid of taking young players or less experienced players. And as it turned out, it proved to be right. But I think that comes from probably a lot has to do with Wayne's experiences and to a certain extent my experiences with the Oilers of the 80s, that I learned very quickly that it doesn't matter how old you are, how much experience you have, it's all about your passion and your ability to think the game and your ability to be a good team player.
Gone are such notable names as Mark Messier, Brendan Shanahan, and Eric Lindros. The 2004 lineup is a healthy mix of proven international leaders and young stars who represent the future.
I think the management has done a great job in bringing together the right mix of players, because we have the veteran leadership here of guys like Joe Sakic and Mario Lemieux, Marty Brodeur. And you also have a great mix of young players too.
You got a lot of young guys here, and you really see the next wave of Canadian players that are coming. They're all, excellent players. They're big and skilled. I mean, Canada's definitely got the youth going in their favor.
Canada is fiercely strong in goal, with New Jersey's Martin Brodeur touted as the starter. Brodeur is complemented by young Montreal native Roberto Luongo of the Florida Panthers. Popular Montreal Canadiens goalie José Theodore completes a Quebec triumvirate between the pipes for Canada. On the blue line, the Canadian roster is deep. Jay Bouwmeester also plays for the Florida Panthers and combines size and speed effectively. Edmonton Oiler Eric Brewer brings a wealth of international experience to Team Canada, despite his tender years. Adam Foote of the Colorado Avalanche, a two-time Stanley Cup winner. Ed Jovanovski of the Vancouver Canucks, capable of joining the rush. San Jose Shark defenseman Scott Hannon has a much-needed stay-at-home style on the blue line. New Jersey Devils Scott Niedermayer is at the peak of his game, having just won the James Norris Trophy as the NHL's best defenseman. Wade Redden of the Ottawa Senators, rapidly emerging as one of the NHL's top all-round defensemen. Calgary Flames rearguard Robin Regeer has the right combination of good puck handling and skating ability to complete Canada's defensive core. Up front, Team Canada is icing one of the most impressive lineups of all time. Superstar Mario Lemieux returns as captain for one last chance at glory. Joe Sakic possesses the game's best wrist shot and has been a National Hockey League captain for over a decade. Boston Bruins center Joe Thornton is one of the NHL's top power forwards. Vincent Lecavalier leads a trio of Tampa Bay's Stanley Cup winning forwards in 2004. Martin St. Louis, the reigning NHL scoring champion and the league's most valuable player. Brad Richards was named the Conn Smythe Trophy winner as the most outstanding player in the playoffs. Calgary's Jarome Iginla, a former NHL scoring champion who is considered one of the greatest players in the game today. Atlanta Thrasher forward Danny Heatley will put some fear into opposing goaltenders with his impressive offensive talents. Ryan Smith of the Edmonton Oilers never fails to answer the call to play for his country. Phoenix Coyotes forward Shane Doan plays like a true Canadian with a tremendous two-way game. Detroit Red Wing Chris Draper won the Frank Selke Trophy as the NHL's top defensive forward. Philadelphia Flyer winger Simone Gagne counted on to bring speed and scoring to the Canadian offense. Detroit's Kirk Maltby, the quintessential NHL grinder who relishes in delivering punishing body checks. San Jose's Patrick Marleau, an excellent passer with good hands who also throws solid body checks. And Dallas forward Brendan Morrow, one of only 9 NHLers to amass 20 goals and 100 penalty minutes in the 2003-2004 campaign.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun to be a part of it, especially at my age, to be able to play with the young players that we have coming up in Canada. Some great talent, like Cavalier and Richards and Thornton and Ryan Smith and all these guys. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of it.
Wayne Gretzky, Hockey Canada President Bob Nicholson, Team Canada Director of Player Personnel Steve Tambellini, and Assistant Executive Director Kevin Lowe saw no reason to tinker with the success of previous international events. With that in mind, the hierarchy retained their coaching staff from the Salt Lake City Olympics.
If it's not broke, why fix it? They did a tremendous job in 2002. There's a tremendous amount of pressure for Canada to deliver a championship, and they delivered a championship. And then we really felt strongly a lot of the games were going to be in Toronto and Montreal, and all 3 of them who are head coaches, and Wayne Fleming, who's with the Flyers, experienced a great deal of pressure being in the cities they're in, and we knew they could handle the mass Canadian media we were going to have here, and that's part of this whole process too. It's not just a matter of focusing on the players and coaching the team, but you're responsible for a country and dealing with the media, and these guys do a great job, and I think they're one of the best coaching staffs I've ever been around.
Head coach Pat Quinn relishes being the chief decision maker once again. Quinn's assistant coaches include some of the best hockey minds in the business. Ken Hitchcock demands respect and knows how to get the most out of his players. Jacques Martin's offensive strategies are a key component of Quinn's team. And Wayne Fleming, noted for his player preparation, completes an elite coaching staff.
It's a chance to work together with, in my opinion, a very special group. It's a group that gets along so well together. We have fun together, we kid each other, we're all over each other verbally at times, but we have so much fun together that when he says we'd like to get back together and try this thing again, you can't pass that up. Because it's a chance to work with special people. It's a chance to work with people who have the same passion for Canadian hockey as I do.
Team Canada's chemistry is evident in the early days. Team outings and bus rides together create a family atmosphere. Many of the players have only known each other as opponents in the NHL, but new friendships develop easily.
We've had a lot of fun together, having dinners and just taking trips together. So, everybody's been great. Everybody's bonded very well and very quickly, and it's we're still got another 3 weeks to go, so it's going to be even funner.
It's not by accident that Wayne Gretzky has chosen players for the Team Canada lineup who were prominent leaders from the winning national teams of the last few years.
Okay, I want the guys on the end just to squeeze in a bit. Brad, just a little, and same on that side.
Yeah, hold on. Benny, come down here. There you go there.
Mario Lemieux, already in the Hall of Fame, an icon to the younger players. They look up to his accomplishments and his unparalleled ability. On paper, this team appears to be one of the greatest groups ever assembled in any sport.
Here we go, 1, 2, 3.
Could this be the ice hockey version of the Dream Team? Canada's chief rival on the world hockey stage is no longer the big Russian bear, but its neighbor to the south. The American roster includes 11 players from the core team of 1996, with one notable exception. Goalie Mike Richter, whose standout performance was vital to Team USA's victory, has since retired from the game. The Americans will test 3 unproven goalies in this year's tournament. They hope the combination of team unity and experience will help them take another run at the title.
We were able to win in 96, and in 02 we lost a tough one to Canada. They played great in the finals, went home with a silver medal. So we've proven to ourselves that we belong here, and we belong in the upper echelon of countries, and we want to continue to do that. We believe we're plenty of the team to bring it home this year.
The European teams in the tournament are also battling their own adversity. On the North American side of the draw, the Russians are dealing with the disappointment of several prominent players being unavailable. With the fall of communism and the rise of NHL imports, Russian hockey has struggled to achieve success. The Slovakian team is the 4th entry in the North American side of the tournament. The Slovaks missed the first World Cup of Hockey in 1996. This time, they're looking to NHL stars Marian Gaborik and Zdeno Chara for leadership in this year's event. Team Slovakia won the 2002 World Championship, establishing themselves as a contender on the international stage. However, the absence of such NHL stars as Zygmunt Palffy will seriously hurt their offense. The European side of the tournament features a Swedish team loaded with talent. But the Swedes have suffered from a propensity for self-destruction at the last few major international competitions. A team boasting a wave of skaters named Peter Forsberg, Mats Sundin, Marcus Naslund, Daniel Alfredsson, and Nicholas Lidstrom should not be taken lightly. The Czech lineup is formidable, but the team is still reeling from the tragic death of their head coach, Ivan Hlinka. The popular Hlinka died in a car accident just days before the start of the tournament. The Czechs will wear a number 21 patch on their jerseys throughout the tournament in honor of Hlinka. Could the Czechs regroup and use their offensive weapons to their advantage? The Finnish team includes a cast of international veterans, including Saku Koivu, Teemu Selanne, Jari Lehtinen, and Mikko Eloranta. Promising youngster Tuomo Ruutu and Mika Kiprusoff in net. The Finns are hoping that NHL playoff hero Kiprusoff has enough magic left in him to perform miracles against the world's best. The German squad is definitely the long shot of the tournament, but possesses some dangerous shooters. Only the goalie Kolzig, one of the NHL's best, was given the starter's job by acclamation.
When you look at it, you know, you look at Russia and you look at Czech, Sweden and Finland, they've always had excellent teams. Anytime that we went on World Championship, it was very difficult for Canada to win. We never had our best players because of the Stanley Cup. And when you look at the Canada Cups, Canada was very successful. We had great teams, but they were always very stiff competition in them. And we're playing in North America on North American rinks.
Hello there.
On the eve of the competition, Prime Minister Paul Martin receives Executive Director Wayne Gretzky, Assistant Executive Director Kevin Lowe, and Hockey Canada President Bob Nicholson and their families. It's an engaging visit, and ideas are exchanged.
We're going to get you on the ice here, That'd be a frightening thought. Kevin, Gretz. That's right.
right. Now, how are you enjoying yourself?
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, I am. Well, we appreciate you.
Now, look, I want to know, do I get to play? I want to know. Come on.
You're in.
I was a lousy hockey player because in my time, the skates today.
That's what I used to say.
It is the skates. If
I couldn't skate on the skates.
I'd have been a great hockey player.
I know.
All right. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Good luck.
Well, no, thank you. I met your father on a number of occasions.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know. He's the more famous Red.
I know.
Really good to see you. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Team Canada draws the Americans for the first two exhibition games, more resembling friendly games of shinny as opposed to battles between bitter rivals. After splitting 3-1 games with the U.S., the Canadians tie Team Slovakia 2-2 to end their exhibition play.
Ottawa was good. It was a team getting together and just getting used to the guys and used to the systems and getting back on the ice at that tempo of play. And we learned every exhibition game. We learned a bit more and we got better, and we're going to take that into the tournament.
En route to Montreal for the first game of the tournament, the players' moods are light.
I'm still a good man. Still a good. Jeez. Tough call. It's 3 cards.
Yeah, it's really tough call.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. Gotta get one somewhere now. 2? Down to 2, yeah. You gotta go 2 wrong. What? 2? Yeah.
3 hearts right there, boys.
Not making the right calls. You made a 1 call there, Joe? Yeah.
But for some, the anticipation is apparent. The Bell Center in Montreal. The players are humbled by the rich history on display in the Montreal Canadiens dressing room.
It's going to be great. I mean, it's like I said, it's short and intense, and you have to be ready right from the first period, first shift, and that's what we're going to do.
August 31st, Team Canada opens the round robin against Team USA. Outside the arena, Canadian fans are certain of victory.
Canada's number 1! You got go! Hey, look at that side! Kick some American butt tonight.
Team Canada enters the ice surface in front of a frenzied Montreal crowd. The Canadians are playing in gold uniforms, a tribute to Canada's first ever Olympic gold medal winning hockey team, the 1920 Winnipeg Falcons. The atmosphere is electric and builds during the playing of the national anthems. The intensity meter rises as the puck drops. The Canadians use home ice to their advantage, taking the play to the Americans in the first period, with the shots a lopsided 19-6 in Canada's favor.
Smith. Oh, the Cats. That's a save. Loose puck to the side of the net. Good save. Oh, what a great save. Andy coming. Whoa, another big save. Fire. Canada on it. Thornton comes out. It scores.
Martin St. Louis breaks the scoreless tie with Canada's first goal of the tournament.
That's the power play goal, the first one. Didn't fool Lash. He had to move in a hurry.
In the second period, Joe Sakic capitalizes on a Team Canada power play.
From the blue line, Sakic shot, scores! Joe Sakic with that famous wrist shot.
Well, Sakic shot it from 2 feet inside the blue line. It went through some people.
It's 2-0 Canada before the Americans find some momentum with Bill Guerin's goal midway through the middle period.
A shot by Guerin, and you knew when he was going to line one up, he'd find the opening, and he did on Martin Brodeur high, and the USA is back in it.
Billy Guerin, 34 goals last year for Dallas. He led the team in goals, points, shots on goals.
Brodeur knocked down in the crease area. Crowd wanted something called. Brodeur lost his...
Mario Lemieux, Canada's 38-year-old captain, takes offense to American Steve Konowalchuk's altercation with goaltender Martin Brodeur. Lemieux's new in-your-face style seems to inspire the Canadians.
Foot. And the Canadian defenseman didn't appreciate the fact that...
However, Canada is dealt a severe blow when defenseman Ed Jovanovski leaves the game with knee and upper body injuries, putting his tournament future in doubt.
Billy Guerin really ran Gagne into the board.
Canada hangs on to win their first round-robin game, 2-1.
Well, a bad first period cost the United States any chance of winning this game. They made a valiant attempt to come back, but they spotted Canada 2 goals and paid the ultimate price.
How's it going, Chris? Good start, man. Undefeated in the yellow.
September 1st, the Bell Center. Team Canada versus Team Slovakia. The Canadians change uniforms to a traditional white for their game against the Slovaks. It's the Canadians' second game in less than 24 hours. Slovakia is never in the game as Team Canada dominates early. Joe Thornton gets Canada on the board.
What a pace! And what a shot down low by Thornton. Oh, yeah. 1-0.
There's the pickpocket by Thornton on Chara, and into the net. Joe Thornton scores his first of the tournament.
A dandy. And what a shot down low. Cavalier again. Nice pass back to the point. The foot into Smith. All Canada.
Ryan Smith pots his first of the tournament.
Wow! 2-0.
Smith's reputation as the consummate Canadian hockey player is well documented. Tonight marks Ryan's record 66th game for his country.
On the corner and goes around the net. He's hammered by Lemieux. It's Mariel up to. Mariel.
Simone Gagne adds to the Canadian lead in the second period.
Gagne, what a play to Gagne. Scott Hammer.
Martin St. Louis makes it 4-0 in the third period.
Shot from the slot coming up. There it is, score! On a pass by Richards. And it's 4-0 Canada. And then Seaback over
Martin
Skater.
Seaback
Hits
finally
the
beats the
Boston.
rock-solid Brodeur for the Slovaks' only goal. Canada wins easily, 5-1. The Slovaks are completely outclassed by the Canadians, who are getting stronger with each game. The team travels to Toronto for the remainder of the tournament. The change of cities is good news to the Canadians, as Team Canada has never lost a game in Toronto. The last time that Toronto hosted a game between Canada and Russia was in 1976 in the Canada Cup. The Leafs' late owner, the colorful Harold Ballard, didn't want the communist bloc country at his Maple Leaf Gardens. The Canadians have a 6-0 record against the Russians in Canada Cup play in Toronto, going into their final round-robin game.
We made a little slight change to the schedule, as the schedules always have best before date stamped on them. 10 to 11 is breakfast, and noon bus to the rink. We have an hour schedule. I'm not sure if it's going to be an ice, it's going to be an off-ice workout to be announced tomorrow when we get to the rink.
In Toronto, Russia versus Canada.
Saturday, September 4th, 2004. The Air Canada Centre hosts Team Canada versus Team Russia. A great rivalry is renewed. The night is special for Mario. It's the Magnificent One's first meeting with the Russians since he broke their hearts in the '87 Canada Cup. Before the game begins, a moment of silence is held to honor victims of a horrible hostage-taking incident in Beslan, Russia.
The victims of the recent tragedies in Russia.
Team Canada sports red uniforms against the Russians' red, white, and blue.
Just barely missed.
The game lives up to its billing, and then some. It's classic Canada-Russia, not just a battle between a bunch of NHL stars. The Canadians again display a patient game,
Takes a look in front of the net. A great chance for Draper, but his
knowing they'll eventually get a chance. A scare is thrown into Canada when Mario Lemieux goes down early in the game.
Puck harmlessly out over the line into the center ice area. Gagne headed for a second. And now Kozlov. No shot. The horn goes and the first period is done.
The period ends scoreless. The nation breathes a collective sigh of relief as Captain Mario is okay.
Hendricks. Heck of a time for one right now. Yeah. You're due. So am I.
In an eerie premonition, Robin Regeer sees Chris Draper's fortunes turning. In the second period, Brad Richards opens the scoring on a shorthanded 2-on-1.
Lost it. And a break. 2-on-1 Canada. Here they come over the line. Richards scores! No question about it. Gagne and Richards 1-0 shorthanded Canada.
Regeer's premonition becomes reality. Chris Draper pots his first of the tournament.
Draper coming up behind everybody. 2-0. Canada. They've exploded.
In the third period, Sakic converts a pass from Lemieux. Sergei Gonchar drifts a shot over Brodeur's shoulder for the lone Russian goal of the game.
Get back to it, and there's the first goal.
Well, Brodeur was mad at himself, Bob, when that goal went in. He thought he had it.
Jay Bouwmeester plays a superb game replacing the injured Wade Redden.
Shot nearly caught the far side. This baby is over. Canada 3, Russia 1.
Well, those two costly mistakes in the first period by the Russians to give Canada 2 2-on-1s end up in the nemesis.
Hey, if you get a play, man. We're in the car. We're in the car today. We're in the car today. Go to work, boys.
I got a good piece of it. I think we're getting better every game, and that's what we want to continue to do. But at the same time, we got to realize that it's a short tournament. Anything can happen at any time. So we just want to keep playing how we are and keep playing our system and keep getting better.
The Canadians were winning, playing a difficult game very well, having the luxury of throwing out several different line combinations that could score. And they had a giant in net. Martin Brodeur was sensational in the first 3 games. Brodeur came to camp in terrific shape, brimming with confidence. He was undisputedly Canada's MVP after the round robin ended, with Canada 3-0 on top of the North American pool.
I think we were able to step up our game to the level that we're able to be unbeaten. And, well, we're going to need to be unbeaten if we want to continue in this tournament also.
Hockey played this style on NHL-sized surfaces has proven to be tough on each team's roster. But the Canadians again come out on top in the injury intangible due to their amazing depth. Team Canada did not miss a step after replacing key personnel in the round robin. Scott Hannon's place in the lineup was made possible when Ed Jovanovski was injured in the Team USA game. But there was another key factor to the Canadian success.
From the blue line, Sakic shot, scores!
The incredible team camaraderie and the real sense that the group liked each other and were having fun.
One of the things is you realize that you need each other to get to that goal, to get to the championship game, and I think as soon as you realize that, then you start coming together as a team.
The Canadians were never behind in their round-robin games. Their power play was intimidating. Their penalty killing superb. The Canadians were solid in all areas of their game. Some of the other teams were making headlines for other reasons. Team USA was rocked by Brett Hull's benching before the game with the Slovaks, their only victory of the round robin. Hull led Team USA in scoring at the first World Cup of Hockey, but was held pointless during his 2 starts this time around. The Americans as a whole appeared painfully slow in comparison to the speedy Canadians. The Russians displayed new teenage phenom Alexander Ovechkin in their victory over Slovakia.
That is Ovechkin!
They were also bolstered by solid goaltending, as Ilya Bryzgalov was brilliant in the Russian victory over the Americans. Maxim Sokolov also played well against the Canadians. The Russians would have to play smart hockey to surprise the Americans again in the quarterfinals. Finland finished on top of the European pool after tying the Swedes 4-4 in each team's final round-robin game. The Swedes needed a victory to finish in first, but instead settled for second place. The Finns were led by the stellar play of goalie Mika Kiprusoff, who earned 2 straight shutouts before the game with the Swedes. Kiprusoff stonewalled the Germans 3-0 after blanking the Czechs 4-0 in Finland's opening game.
We knew that we can win every country. Just a matter that we had to put ourselves that this is going to be our day, any day we play the game.
The Finnish team was short 1 defenseman after Jani Niinimaa left the team. The Czechs began the tournament slowly, but appeared to be gaining momentum with some solid play in later games, including a 7-2 pasting of the Germans, who went winless in the tourney. As the quarterfinals were set to begin, the hockey world wondered if the Canadian juggernaut could be contained.
It's very fun right now. It's a great part right now of the tournament. The preliminary round is over. We 3-0. We're very happy with what we did.
If Canada were to go on to win the tournament, their record would be a perfect 6-0. Monday, September 6th, and the start of quarterfinal play in the European pool. Finland is matched against the underdog Germans. The game is tight. A late goal by Mikko Eloranta with only 3:22 left in the third period seals a 2-1 Team Finland victory and advancement to the next round. Tuesday, September 7th, 2 quarterfinal matchups in the World Cup of Hockey. Sweden hosts the first game in Stockholm against the surging Czechs. The Swedes are swarmed early, and the goaltending doesn't hold up. The Czech 6-1 victory surprises many, and it's one of Sweden's most devastating setbacks in international play. The Czechs would await Wednesday's victors in the other quarterfinal between Canada and Slovakia. The second game of the day is the most intriguing of the tournament so far. Team USA versus Russia at the XL Center in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Russia! Russia! Russia!
The Americans are obviously a different team than the one that lost to the Russians in the round robin. On this night, they're quicker and forcing the play.
Speeding in! Penalty! What about a penalty shot? Yes!
Team USA gets a huge 4-goal game out of Keith Tkachuk and beat the Russians 5-3. Tkachuk is a tower of power with 5 points on the night. The line of Tkachuk, Bill Guerin, and Mike Modano collects 11 points. The Americans play their best game of the tournament, dismissing the critics who question their senior years.
Old Glory still has something left to move on to the semifinals of the World Cup of Hockey.
Team USA will now meet Finland on Friday night.
It's all about attitude.
Canada has several days to prepare for Team Slovakia, and the coaching staff uses team meetings to explain their game philosophy.
And the big attitude against this team today here, because they're going to come out and work, and watching them practice the last 2 days, they definitely have not given up. You'll find if you go the full 60 minutes, you'll make them crack. They'll crack down. Eventually they will crack. But if you don't sustain it, sometimes they can be able to find a way. So it's important that as you get your attitude going, that whole 60-minute attitude, and again, that's shift by shift, but the whole thing is you have to stay with them, you have to bear down. The big focus for us is make them play in their end as much as possible. And Reggie saw some clips, we'll see some other stuff into there that is not their strength point. Their team defensive play is not the strong part of their area.
Wednesday, September 8th, Canada versus Slovakia in the last quarterfinal game. Team Canada spends game day doing their familiar routine.
Same match.
The goalie and the puck into
the first period sees a disallowed Jerome Iginla goal and several Canadian chances. The Slovaks are matching the Canadians. Quinn appears frustrated. This is evident in the dressing room during the first intermission.
Well, all kinds of options, but if you're way ahead of it, our defense are going to get in a problem all night long, and that's when the turnovers start. We said we'd commit to 60 minutes here, guys. The last 5 or 6 minutes, maybe you figure it was going to be goal-scoring night. We're starting to miss checks and let people go. Let's get this 60 minutes idea back in our game. Stop where it is. Nobody gets let go from any place. We finish our checks, and we stay above the puck when we're in the offensive zone. We're starting to gamble. They're going to sit 3 up. When we have the puck, we've got a 3-on-2 down there. That's the way it's being played right now. So hold the thing and don't be throwing it away, and don't just be gambling for it, because they're gonna sit there and suck up and try and get some breaks to get back in the game. Let's keep it going, boys. 60 minutes here. Let's get our little things done right the rest of the way.
Team Canada receives Quinn's message loud and clear. The Canadians explode in the second period. Mario, Sakic, and Iginla are unstoppable tonight. The line scores one of the prettiest goals of the tournament. The Canadians score 4 goals in a span of 9 minutes and 20 seconds in the second period.
Talk about three-way passing.
Well, you knew that line was overdue. Just like the Modano-Garin Tkachuk line last night in St. Paul.
The Slovaks know they're finished. But another period is yet to be played. Team Canada hands the Slovakians another shellacking, this one a 5-0 shutout. The Slovaks exit the tournament winless with only 4 goals scored. Martin Brodeur is perfect and has allowed a paltry 3 goals in 4 games. It is Brodeur's first ever shutout in international play. Oginla's 2 goals earn him the game MVP honors. Canada is now matched up against the Czechs in the semifinals. Losing is not an option.
He's just mad at his own team.
Lemieux knows that the team and the country expect to win.
I think we have to approach them just like the Slovaks and the Russians. I mean, they've got a lot of offense, maybe more of their defense jumps up on the play and causes that second wave. So we have to respect that. And they're the type of team that'll go all out. They'll try to beat you one-on-one. They'll try to beat you with their high skill, and we're gonna have to make sure that we have everyone committed to playing good D.
Friday, September 10th, at the XL Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Team USA versus Team Finland. The Finns will have to overcome jet lag after traveling overseas from Europe, where they played the entire tournament prior to this semi-final game. The crowd at the XL Center is very pro Team USA, but the Americans are challenged by the tight-checking Finns. Doug Waite puts the Americans in front in the second period after chipping in a perfect cross-ice pass from Scott Gomez.
Scotty Gomez in front, wow! Doug Waite! 1-0 USA!
The Finns tie it up in the third period after Olli Jokinen capitalizes on a giveaway to beat American goalie Robert Ashe.
Through traffic, Jokinen scores! Olli Jokinen has tied it on a rebound at 5:04 of the third.
Keith Tkachuk is the victim of a 2-on-1 Finnish body check, and teammate Bill Guerin takes exception. Team captain Saku Koivu is the hero for the Finns. He scores the winning goal with less than 5 minutes remaining.
Steps up, Koivu in front, Koivu scores! Saku Koivu with 3:54 on the clock.
The 2-1 win is one of the biggest international victories ever for Team Finland, while the crushing loss for Team USA signals the end of an era. Many of the Americans' key players will have played their final game for the national team. The unflappable Mika Kiprusoff only faced 17 shots in the defensive battle, but has now led his team to an unbeaten record and a berth in the World Cup of Hockey final. Saturday, September 11th, 2004, game day for Team Canada. It's a beautiful late summer day in Canada's largest city. The rabid Canadian hockey fans are more than ready to cheer on their beloved heroes against the Czech Republic.
The one thing about the Czechs, they may be the very best team at what they do best over there, and that is they are patient, they are strong, they are very skilled, they are comfortable with playing with a 1-goal lead and trying to win the game.
On this day, Team Canada will face its biggest adversity of the tournament so far. Marty Brodeur, the man many proclaim to be the best goaltender in the world, is a game day scratch. Brodeur's ailing wrist is not improved enough to enable him to play. He's been in the nets for every minute of Canada's unbeaten run. But tonight's task falls to Roberto Luongo. Meanwhile, Gretzky has more than just his charges on the ice to worry about. His 15-year-old daughter, Paulina, is singing the Canadian national anthem, and there are afternoon rehearsals scheduled.
And what's the number, Don?
Team Canada's trainers and staff prepare a special commemorative 9/11 patch for the players' jerseys.
Well, you know what? We're hoping that it's going to cause a bit of controversy. You can get it off. You can get it off. Do it any way you can.
I'm going to take it out. You have one done.
Okay, I'm doing. That's okay. You place them. I'll take the thing off.
Game time. World Cup of Hockey semifinal. CBC is broadcasting tonight's game in high definition from coast to coast. The new state-of-the-art mobile bustles with activity as the production crew prepares for the telecast. Janet Gretzky comforts her daughter Paulina before her performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we rise to the singing of our national anthems, please join us in a moment of silence in memory of the victims and families of September 11th, 2001. Thank you. Please join Robert Polmakov in the singing of the Czech Republic national anthem. And please join Paulina Gretzky in the singing of the Canadian national anthem.
The Czech Republic versus Team Canada. The play is close in the early stages of the game. Neither team is playing their best period of the tournament so far. After 20 minutes, the teams remain locked in a scoreless tie. It's a quiet Team Canada dressing room during the first intermission.
Let's go here, look, here we go, boys, here we go. Come on, here we go, buddy. Come on, boys. Richie. Your game, buddy. Here we go, Joe.
So here comes period number 2. No score. Sakic and one to draw. Got to the puck first with the 2 from a back check.
Eric Brewer gets the Canadians on the board in the second period.
Yager lost it. Canada onside. Good play by Thornton to keep it onside. Doan gives it to him again. Here comes Thornton. He plays it into Draper. Looking out. Centering pass. They score! Right off the line. Eric Brewer comes in and scores. Joe Thornton was great on that play, too.
Mario Lemieux then scores his first of the tournament to bring the house down.
The Cavalier shot, rebound, Richards down, falling, another shot, scores! Mario Lemieux! Bang, 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 and it's 2-0. Mario finally gets the beauty.
The Czechs are quick to answer back when Peter Sajanek makes it 2-1 Canada.
Possession in deep, centering pass, score! It came off a skate in front of the net, and it's a 2-1 game.
Jaromir Jagr is playing inspired hockey for the Czechs. His old Pittsburgh Penguin teammate Mario Lemieux also has his A-game going tonight. The second period ends with the Canadians hanging on to their slim one-goal lead.
Boys, let's get a good rest here, boys. Good rest, come back. Take it to him. Third. Away, boys, that way. Two areas here, guys, do a little bit better. Now we're getting some wide drives. We're trying to go for this area. That's where they're all sagging to. This is where we want to get that puck, or any rotations we get up there, we want it right into that blue area, and we'll be driving there for it. Putting it out any higher usually is picked off by them and gone the other way. Let's pick up our pace on the checking side now, guys. We want to be relentless. Good first man pressure everywhere. Make sure we're working back to our zone. Anytime they'll be chipping some pucks out, trying to cheat. They're the ones that have to play catch up. So we've got to be in good sound position everywhere. On the chip outs, our defense are going to need some help. So get back to the puck as hard as you can. Same as on the shoot-ins. Let's get back and come together. 5-man units everywhere. Finish our checks everywhere. And let's go bring this home. Boys!
All in here. Forwards got to get behind their D's. Chip and support. Offside winger.
It is Canada 2, the Czech Republic 1. 24-16 of the shots, the Czech Republic. They have been very strong in this game.
The Czechs take the play to Team Canada in the third period.
Chance here. Far side, back to the line. Kept in. Czech Republic looking sharp centering pass to the blue ice. Going high. And Luongo saving the day here for Canada at this moment. Here comes another shot in front. Luongo right there and back up, and Richards in trouble. Gets through the crowd. The new knows they're in trouble and gets it down the ice. Back with it.
Then Vincent Lecavalier is called for a questionable holding penalty.
What's wrong with the Czech Republic? We're back again. However, it's stopped at the 9. And the play call, there's holding call over there. And it might be against Lecavalier on that play. Tip to the boards. Kept in.
The Czechs capitalize when Martin Havlat ties the game at 2.
Now it's played back to him. And the long shot. Rebound, score. Right on the lip of the crease is Martin Havlat. And this game is tied in the 3rd period.
Gretzky and Assistant Executive Director Kevin Lowe appear to be nervous. Relief is provided when Chris Draper flies in on the wing and blasts a shot past Thomas Vokoun.
Canada moves on it. Down comes Draper, trying to get in. Rifles the shot. He scores! Draper! A beauty! Canada! Chris Draper! What a goal!
Well, Canada had a little luck on that one as the puck was coming around.
It looks like the Canadians have regained the momentum, but on the ensuing faceoff,
Dumped in front again, not another quick one, yes! Czech Republic come back within seconds, and the fire another goal to tie it.
Right to the Czech player. 1-1.
the television production crew reacts to the roller coaster ride of tonight's game.
Video 8. Right off the draw here, Franker, if you can. 31, take 1. You got it on the wide? 25, stay there, Frank. That's a great shot.
The tying goal is devastating to the Canadians and deflates their momentum.
Coming in here. Struck.
The seconds count down in regulation time. Canada and the Czech Republic are headed for sudden death overtime.
Right at the horn. Sudden death overtime coming up.
Team Canada knows it has to play mistake-free hockey in overtime to escape the Czech onslaught and move on to the final.
It is 20 minutes. Sudden death from the drop of the...
Overtime begins. The Czechs test Luongo, and he makes a couple of game and tournament-saving stops on NHL sharpshooters Martin Ryshinsky and Milan Hajduk. The Canadians pounce on the puck and skate over the Czech line.
Scoops it out, a break. Down they come, Lecavalier. One man to beat. Can he beat him? No, he has to go in around the net. He falls. He sweeps it out front. Kept in by Schmidt, whose shot is in. Lecavalier missed the open. He scores! Lecavalier, second chance. It is over.
Team Canada wins the semifinal game 4-3 in overtime with Lecavalier's goal at the 3:45 mark. He now leads the Canadians in scoring with 2 goals and 5 assists.
Here's how it started. It looked like a nothing play. Lecavalier fights off the Czech player. Then he goes to the front of the net and he gets behind Marek Malik. And the rebound went to Lecavalier and he got it up over a prone Vokoun to end the hockey game.
The Canadians know they have dodged a major bullet.
The semi-final game was a huge game for our country, so I really wanted to go in there and win the game above anything else. It didn't really matter what the score was, but just to get out of there and win her and be able to play in the final was my main goal.
September 13th, the eve of the World Cup of Hockey final.
Take a look here where we're playing and who we're playing.
The Canadians are deep in strategy sessions to come up with a plan against the defensive style employed by the Finns.
We're doing all the initiating both ways. By going after them, a game in there. This is the game, the way they play it. It's very close to the North American, so we say style in there, where the game will be played in the trenches. We're talking about grit. You got 2 key points. And this is regarding our team play versus the Finns. They play a real strong press-up game.
They also spend considerable time studying goalie Mika Kiprasov's habits to try and gain any possible advantage for the big game.
Some of his save when there's no traffic. He's a pretty cool customer. So useless to say this Kiprasov guy is a pretty good goalie, so we're going to have to work hard to get some goals here. And describe a little bit of style. A lot of goals are being scored upstairs above his shoulders and 5 holes, so those are areas that we're going to be looking for.
The Finns, they gave us a tough game in Salt Lake, and internationally they always give us a tough game, and they played a strong team game, and their skill level is improving, and as a nation they're becoming, like all the nations involved in the World Cup, very capable of winning.
Tuesday, September 14th, Air Canada Centre. Canada versus Finland. The World Cup of Hockey final. Team Canada's dressing room is quiet. The players are focused.
We're here, need them all.
Tonight's game is perhaps the biggest in Finland's international hockey history. They have a hot goalie and nothing to lose.
Joe, can you bring my glove out there? Peter, Woody, over.
Team Canada's veterans set the pace on the first shift.
Missed that. They wave off any ice.
The Canadians score on their first shot on goal in the game's opening minute.
Galloping away to the line. Getting to center with a pass. They get away with it. Mario sets it up. Score! Wow! Oh, baby! What a play! First goal, Canada. Joe Sakic. The first goal, Canada.
Well, one of the quickest releases in the National Hockey League. A miscue there, and that let Mario Lemieux have a little more ice than the Finns would like. And Sakic, as I mentioned, Harry, he's got one of the best releases in the National Hockey League, and we just witnessed it.
The Finns test Brodeur. Thankfully, the wrist appears to be a non-issue.
Canada don't get it out. Long shot. Another one. Great save. There was 2 saves.
Well, Martin Brodeur very quickly shows you that he looks like he's in the mid-tournament form.
The Finns tie the game quickly.
Canada does to the line. Long shot by Linden, scores. Kept in front, and Finland ties. Rolled it in, hoping Draper would get to it. He's in there at the same time as team bringing it back out to center.
The players retreat to their dressing rooms. The game is tied after one period. The Canadians know they're in a battle for the title.
Doing the little thing, boys. It'll come, eh? Keep going.
Assistant coach Ken Hitchcock devises a defensive scheme during the intermission.
Listen up, fellas, on a couple of things. They're doing a lot of cross-ice dumps to speed here. And our defenseman, this defenseman's playing it. This guy's got to go back. He's got a one-on-one, and it's a hard one-on-one. And what we have to have is our tracker's got to come all the way back, and you got to get right close to this defenseman, because he maybe can't make a play, but he can take the hit and keep the puck there. He's not going to have any time to do anything. So our tracker's got to come right back and get right close to that, and our winger needs to bust his ass. So this might be the play that's available to you. The quick up off of their cross-ice dumps, and they're doing it all the time. So we got to get our tracker back there. You got to skate like hell, get back, help that defenseman on the cross-ice dumps. Come on, boys. Come on. Come on, guys.
But it's tied at 1. The teams at full strength. Second period underway.
Second period.
Niedermayer ahead to Doan. Shane Doan dumps it in wide of the net. That's not a good goal, but it's a goal. And Niedermayer just threw it in.
The goal is the weakest that Kiprusoff has allowed in the tournament.
Just gets distracted on that play from Draper coming towards the net.
Team Finland is aggressive tonight and welcomes the rough stuff. Ryan Smith suffers an unfortunate face injury.
Gets rather close.
The Finns score the tying goal on a beautiful solo effort late in the period.
Ruutu trying one. He might do it. He's in. He scores. Tuomo Ruutu was allowed to walk in there with 1 minute left. He beats Roder, and this game is tied.
The game is tied at 2-2, heading into the second intermission. Meanwhile, the World Cup of Hockey trophy is delivered to the arena for the post-game presentation.
You're going to come out, put it on the table, and then stand kind of off to the side, the way you've done for the Stanley Cup. Yeah, you can both on the same side, okay? And then we'll deliver. There's a bunch of flag bearers.
Third period. Canada takes the lead with a classic play. The so-called checking line has 4 points. The trio is a force tonight. Joe Thornton has come of age, reminiscent of Mario in '87. Robin Regeer lays a punishing body check on Mikko Eloranta.
He's still down, getting
Canada continues to apply the pressure. The Finns desperately try to score the equalizer. The Canadians remain calm. Team Canada, at 6-0, becomes the first team in the history of the tournament to go undefeated. The country celebrates wildly.
Please join us in congratulating Team Canada's Vincent Lecavalier, our Samsung Tournament MVP.
Vincent Lecavalier is named the MVP of the 2004 World Cup of Hockey. It caps an incredible 4-month span for the budding superstar. Lecavalier, St. Louis, and Richards have now won the Stanley Cup and the World Cup of Hockey in the same calendar year. Lecavalier falls 1 point short of the tournament scoring title, finishing with 2 goals and 5 assists.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Canada Cup and NHL All-Star Boreas Salming for the presentation of the 2004 World Cup of Hockey Trophy. Captain Mario Lemieux will now accept the World Cup of Hockey Trophy on behalf of Team Canada. Congratulations.
Three Canadian players are named to the tournament's All-Star team. The incomparable Brodeur, Lecavalier at center, and Adam Foote on defense. Rounding out the team are Finland's rear guard Kimmo Timonen and winger Saku Koivu. Scoring leader Fredrik Modin of the Swedes is the other forward.
Joe, where are we putting this? Right in the middle. Drapes. Yeah. Hey, we need our tune.
Not only did Team Canada 04 carry on the tradition, they began their own.
We put 6 loonies under the bench. The one with 1 victory each. So now we're doing grab. You gotta go get it? Yeah. Let's go get it.
6 loonies were taped underneath the players' bench, symbolizing each win.
They are. Here they are. Woo! Here we go.
2 loonies are also removed from their hiding place 6 inches below center ice at the Air Canada Centre. Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment Chairman Larry Tannenbaum ordered the 2 specially minted loonies from Ottawa. One for Wayne Gretzky and a duplicate for Coach Pat Quinn. Tannenbaum presents the loonie to Gretzky.
This is the loonie that we buried on center ice. We buried this on center ice, okay, the start of the World Cup, and it was to be taken out if Canada, the only way is if Canada won, you know, the cup, and Canada is...
We're getting a lot of mileage out of the dollar. Who says a Canadian dollar isn't strong?
Absolutely, no.
I think the thing that surprised me most is the dedication that our team has shown. And I shouldn't be surprised, but it's a pleasant surprise. And the manner in which they conduct their business and how they handle themselves. You know, I was saying the other day, the minor hockey programs we have set up and the minor hockey coaches and the parents that these kids have and the junior programs they went into, these 26 guys who are here are just really wonderful people, and beyond being good hockey players, they're great role models.
Canadians from coast to coast now have a new set of heroes to idolize. Shane Doan's goal will become part of Canadian sports folklore. This special group of athletes may never be together again. We may have witnessed the last hurrah of some of Canada's most storied players and leaders. The perfect team completes its perfect run, achieving its goal of world hockey domination, proving once again it's our game.